chapter 3.4. It's going to be graphing linear equations in standard form. Can I graph linear equations by finding the intercepts? Can I graph linear equations by finding the intercepts? That's the big question right there. Can we do that? A. Standard form is ax plus bx, by equals c. Okay, this is a standard form equation, right? And a and b, those are my coefficients. They're coefficients. There's numbers in front of variables. We call those coefficients. C is my constant. Constant is basically, it's going to be a number. Number, right? It doesn't change, right? And then your x and your y are your variables. So your x and your y, those are your variables. Now, in math, you see x and y a lot. What we're going to do in this class is variables means that we can make those count for anything. We can make that model. We can make that model anything in life. For example, you can make that model stuff like if you're going to be looking for stuff on Minecraft. What's a common resource on Minecraft that you always okay? So again, variables can represent anything. X can represent the number of teachers in the school. Y can represent the number of students. It doesn't matter, right? We use these to represent real world stuff. To represent real world stuff, you need math to make sense. Even your Minecraft game is run by math. Zeros and ones. Right, so if you want to be maybe a future gaming developer, math is the way to go. Plus it pays buku bucks. Okay? V. Types of lines. Types of lines. We're going to be focusing on two types of lines. We're going to be focusing on vertical line. So vertical lines look like this. Vertical lines look like this. X equals, let's say a number A. Okay? This is called a vertical line. Anytime you have x equal a number, it's going to be a vertical line. Somebody give me a number. Give me a number. What can we choose A to be?
12.
X equals 12, x equals 5. Let's go ahead and graph those guys. What does it look like? Well, all you got to do is make a graph. And whenever you make a graph, you have your x-axis and you have your y-axis. We have x equals 5. All we do is we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. And so my line is going to look like this. It's going to look like a vertical line, right? X equals 5. That is a vertical line, straight up and down, vertical. This line goes forever up and forever down. It doesn't change directions, it just goes, okay? Another example here is going to be x equals 12, and again, we can go ahead and graph that as well. We can say, well, x equals 12, and there we go. To go ahead and make this a little user-friendly for our scale, let's go by what? 3. Let's go by 3s. We can say 3, 6, 9, and what? 12. So this is going to be a vertical line right at x equals 12. Who's telling me? I don't know. Pi collection. I'm broke. X equals 12. Okay. Vertical lines. Very important skill you'll need later on in life. And I'm not being sarcastic, because some students in geometry, they don't even know, or even algebra too. It's a vertical number. They don't know. Why? Because they forgot maybe. I don't know. That's just real. I'm not exaggerating. Horizontal lines look like y. Y equals a number. And just to be different, we're going to say y equals b, because b, we're going to get a different number, right? Also, so this is important, I encourage you guys to maybe pull out your bag of highlighters that you have in your backpack, in your pockets, that you always keep, right? So those are important. So we're going to say y equals, somebody else could be 2 numbers besides Kayla and Theo.
6 and 9.
Okay, so we're going to say y equals 6, and then y equals 9. We're going to go and graph those guys. And you can already kind of guess how they're going to look like, maybe. The 38th parallel. You guys know what that is? The 38th parallel. You know what that is? The 38th parallel? You guys have any parents that were veterans? Little veteran parents? Fought in World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War? No? Okay, no reference there. No impact, no idea. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is where it equals 6. We're going to say this is going to be a, different color. So this is going to be y equals 6. Is a horizontal line that goes forever and ever and ever without changing direction. It doesn't go up or down. It doesn't go up or down. It's just straight forever and ever. So a clear distinction between horizontal lines. And again, we have 9. We're going to go by 3. Maybe 3, 6, and then 9. Y equals 9. Okay. So again, do we understand what vertical lines are, and we do understand what horizontal lines are? Now, I didn't label all of them, but it's important, and I'll just label the last one here, is that this line on the graph is called as the x-axis. The x-axis. The vertical line is called the y-axis. Okay? This has all your y values. This has all your x values. So when it comes to the graph, we know that. Let's go ahead and see if we can move on to the next here. But now we're actually done graphing here. 3, 2, 1. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. Moving on, moving on, moving on. The slope is slowly getting greener, which is nice. You can see it from here. It's happening slowly. We are on letter C now. Letter C. Letter C is actually graphing. Let's go ahead and see if we can do that. Simple graph here. So graphing. You don't have to have a straight line, but it doesn't really matter. Graphing intercepts. Graphing intercepts. What does the word intercept mean?
Where it hits the y-axis.
Yeah, so here, if the line crosses here, we call that the what? What axis is this? So this is going to be the y what? Y-intercept. This crosses over here, this is going to be the what? The x-intercept. Okay? And so why are we worried about that? Because that's where we're going. Let's say this point here is going to be, what's the y value for this point? Somebody else besides you. What's the y value for this point? What is the y value for this point? What is the y value for this point? 0. Good. How about over here? What's the x value for this point? Somebody else besides Alejandro. What's the x value for this point? What's the x value for this point? What's the x value for this point? 0. Because at this point, my x is 0. Along this entire line, my x value is 0, along this line. Along this line, my y value is 0. So knowing how to read a graph is important. So we call those the intercepts. So again, this is my x value, and this is my y value. They're zeros, right? So we're going to say this point over here is going to be point 0a, is going to be point 0b. We don't know because I didn't give them numerical values. So we're going to say that a is a number we don't know, and then b is a number we don't know, but those numbers exist on the graph. Does that make sense so far? Now, the takeaway here is y is 0. When y is 0, the line crosses here. Y is 0 along this entire line because the y value goes up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes down by 0, negative 1. So along this line, can we all agree that y equals 0? That's why this is 0. Along this line, x is 0 because x goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forever and ever. It goes negative 1, 2, 3 forever and ever, negative. But along this vertical line, x equals what? 0 forever and ever. So along this line, x equals 0. That's why this is going to be x equals 0. So far, so good. So we're going to go ahead and say that we're going to use this equation here. Example. 3x plus 4y. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Hang with me. 3x plus 12, 3x plus 4y equals 12. Find the intercepts. How do we find the intercepts? Which one do you guys want to find first? Which intercept do we want to find first? So much energy in this classroom. I love it. X or Y? What do we want to find first? X. All right. X. So we're going to find X. X-intercept first. If we do that, we're going to set what equal to 0. What are we going to set equal to 0 if we're going to find X? Choose a value. Set y equal to 0. Because if you set y equal to 0, you're going to find your what? Your what? We just said it. X-intercept. If we set y equal to 0, we will find my what? Let's do that. Let's do that real quick. So we're going to say 3x plus 4, and I said we're going to set that equals 0 equals 12. 0 goes here. Anything times 0 is just what? 0. 3x equals 12. How do we solve for x? We divide both sides by what? By 3, right? So we get x equals x equals 4. So guess what we just found, folks? We found a point. What is my point? The point is 4 and what? 4 and 0. Okay? 4 and 0. However, in order for us to graph, we need to find what? One more what? One more point. Let's go and find that point. Okay, number 2. Find y-intercept. Set x equal to what? Set x equal to what? 0. Same equation. Same equation. So this time we're going to say, again, we have 3x plus 4y equals 12. This time we're going to replace the x value. We're going to keep y along equals 12. What do I say x equals? 0. 0 goes here. Anything times 0 is what? 0. We get left with 4y equals 12. How do I get y by itself? I divide both sides by what? 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So y equals 3. So this tells me that my other point is going to be, what's my x value? 0. What's my y value? 3. And I have found 2 points. I have found 2 points. Now I can graph. This is brand new. This is good. This makes me feel good on the inside. See? Just like that. Exactly like that. I love it. Nice little yawn there. A little yawn over there. Let's go ahead and find these points. 0 and 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. This is 0 and 3. Final points, 4 and 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and guess what? 4 and 0. This is 4 and 0. You guys just learn how to graph using intercepts. You guys just learn how to graph using intercepts. So the idea is, how do we find the intercepts? We plug in 0 for x, solve for y. Plug in 0 for y, solve for x. That's basically it. Right? That is it.